We'll start today's class standing up. Get a few props. Get yourself towards a wall if you're going to be able to use a wall by having your legs go up the wall. Also have a dowel if that suits. We're going to be standing on the dowel, so that's the reason we'll have that. And then also some weights if you have some. Using some cans would be a good idea as well. You can use any weight that suits you, nothing that's going to be too strenuous. But I find that it's really beneficial to warm up the upper body with just doing some light weights. Also, we'll be moving into some back bend shapings. And so at the end, we do leg stretches, so we'll have a belt for that. Okay, so just have these things nearby and maybe a blanket for when you go into Shavasana. So come to the front of the mat, standing on it. I'm going to be standing on my dowel. If you're using one, you could do this too. And just have the mounds of the feet, that kind of fleshy part right behind the toes, the toe mounds, standing on them where the toes just kind of curl over the edge. And we'll be doing some shoulder rolls. So let's just stand here first. Take the hands on the belly. Feel the downness of the feet, downness of the pelvis, downness of the energy as we're then going to bring it back up in a rebound action. So first just come really down. Feel the down of the feet, pelvis. Kind of a low sense of gravity. And then from this awareness down through the feet, let's feel that the energy comes back up through the feet, through the legs, into the belly. And we'll just pause it right here with this awareness into the abdomen. Let's breathe in the belly. With the hands on the abdomen, it gives a nice sense of biofeedback so that we can really feel the awareness of the mind to the body to the abdomen as we're expanding it for inhales and slightly contracting for the exhales. A few more breaths. As you continue to breathe for a few more breaths, let's still feel the rebound energy coming up through the feet to the belly, and then we'll balance the sense of the low abdomen to the center between the brows. So feel that balanced sense of energy as you are breathing in and as you're breathing out. All through the crown of the head and a little bit relaxed in the shoulders. And as your next exhalation, let's just release the arms by the sides. Now we'll be rolling the shoulders around, but as we do so, it's more like we're moving the side ribs, and it's coming from the low belly. And kind of like jacking up that movement. So we're not moving it with the tops of the shoulders by the neck. We're going to be moving it from the side. So let's just see if we can see this from a front view, and then I'll turn around. So feel the downness of the feet and feel a good kind of pulling up of the pubic bone to some degree up towards the sternum, and then round the shoulders and from the side ribs, and moving the armpit so that we're moving it from below rather than from on top. And here's the side view. So what you might notice when we do this kind of movement is that there's less drama in the visual of it, but you're feeling so much lighter up here by the shoulder heads and by the neck. Okay, and down, and just pause. And then let's reverse the direction. Forward and up, back and down. And one more. Okay, good. Pause. And then just bring your arms around, swinging them across the front and kind of towards the back. Letting them be loose and loose at the wrists and the hands. And then we'll take it higher up and we'll go back about shoulder height or armpit height with the arms straight. And then when we come across, we'll bend the elbows and go back with the elbows. So arms, elbows, arms, elbows. And all the while, even though there's a movement happening with the torso with momentum, we're suctioning up so that there's not going to be a flimsiness through the spine. One more back and elbows, and then stay here. Really feel that this is happening from the side ribs so that the arms are a little bit light, and we're going to take the elbows in towards the chest and out, and then in towards the ears and out. So nice fluid movement. Let the arms jiggle around so that there is containment at the side ribs, containment in the armpits, but the rest of the arm is having a hydrating time with this movement. And then now let's just do circles around so that the arms still stay roughly coming out from the armpits. But now reverse that direction so the elbows are having a really good time of being lubricated or hydrated. And one more, and down. Okay, good. Now let's just see that we can step off this dowel and just have the feet a comfortable distance apart, perhaps a little wider than hips, and we'll swing around from side to side with the arms. Let the head go in the same direction that the arms and shoulders are going. And bend the knees when you get to the side. Let the arms be really heavy, and it's just momentum that's moving. And you can feel how the blood is starting to shift into the hands as you swing them like this. Okay, and then start to slow it. And then we'll come into the center. And so just stand with stillness now. Eyes maybe are closed. Just pausing. Tall through the crown of the head. Relax the pelvis down. Feel the downness of the feet. Okay, open the eyes if they're closed. Now we're going to swing the arm around so we really get the momentum. And it's like we use the hip to get the arm to go. So that's what it's going to look like. So let's just see how that works for you. So I'm just taking my right arm and I'm going to move it around. And then reverse. Okay, other side. And reverse. Good. Okay, so hopefully there's the breath is moving a little differently and we have the blood flowing a little bit better as well. So now let's stand on the dowel again, but we're going to stand a little farther into the foot, so right at that arch, the transverse arch here of the foot. Take your weights, and we'll do the sequence, and we'll do a series of 8 of each of the movements, unless you would prefer to do 5, or just use your arms to do it without any weight. So your choice. Let's take them coming up. So the palms face towards the shoulders, then we come up and we face away. All the while we're really stabilizing in the low belly with the pubic bone coming forward and up, and we kind of hold on to the dowel to some degree for the movement help. Okay, back down, 2. Keep going. And up and down. So it's just a light amount. We're just doing 8 or less. Come here into the forward, kind of hang with the arms and rotate the hands back and forth, side to side, to really open up through the arms and the wrists. Okay, come back into the center. Now here's where we're going to have the weights facing each other, stabilize, inhale, come up, and then we rotate so that the backs of the hands face forward, and we have this Y feeling at the side ribs, and those are activated as we take the arms a little bit to the sides and a little bit back. We come forward to the center, coming down slowly. Okay, up and turn, face forward and down, and up and turn, forward and down, and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and slowly down. Good. Okay, do the little wrist turns if that suits. And then come back up. So just now have that nice quality in the pubic bone gathered in and up and towards the belly, and then that belly part a little bit towards the spine. But you still have room for breath in the belly. And then take the arms just back and back. And come neutral. And now from this neutral, we're going to roll at the elbows to face the palms towards the ceiling, and come up and come down and back to the sides. So curling up and down, and curling up and down, curling up and down. You can see how slowly we're going here. And 6 and 7 and 8, and that's that. If I'm going to, let's rotate the wrists. If I'm going to be doing the same kind of weight practice for more strengthening, I'll do maybe 10 to 15 reps instead of this. And I might take some breaks between so that the arms aren't fatigued and you're not using the wrong muscles, kind of keeping in bad habits. Okay. So now let's just come back into this position here and curl with the palms facing up, curl in and neutral. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Face the palms towards each other, curl up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Palms face the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Okay. Let the hands come down. Find your little swinging of the weights if that suits. Okay. So now make yourself into a nice flat back. If you need to lean your seat against a wall, or find yourself leaning over a table or a chair if this doesn't work to hang like this. Okay, so tall through the crown of the head. Let's just feel the arms are first heavy and then open through the armpits. And then just take the arms back where they go. And let's just bend and straighten. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Okay, you can pause or you can go right away into that position and just curl the sides of the wrists up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, take the hands down, find your little swivels. Good. Come back into the flat back. Open the armpits, let the arms hang first, and then just take the arms into that position, and we'll do lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Come down. Let's just do some shoulder rolls with the weights in our hands. Remembering to come from the sides of the ribs, the direction, moving the armpits more than the tops. Okay, good. Let's bring the weights up. Feel the armpits forward and up, and let's bend at the elbow so that the weights are coming somewhere near the back, maybe towards our shoulder blade. Really feel kind of a hollowing in of the front of the body so that we're widening at the lumbar and really contained. And just straighten and bend. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, good. Now, we're going to move the dowel over to the side. And this one's going to be optional. I know we've done it in some of the weights classes that we've done in the past, where we bring the weights up overhead and come into a back bend. Also, it's a strong pose, and it's something that I've worked up to, and I'm still not super far back, which is because I'm not looking to go super far. What I'm looking for is strength and form. And every day that I do it, I feel that the curve is a little different. We want the curve to happen from the legs or from the ankles. We want a lot of that to happen right here as this comes in here rather than this way. And we're not making it come so much from the low back. We lean forward with the pelvis. So we also need a bit of an opening at the front of the thigh. So we're coming from so many different places. Also, as we'll do in back bends, is we'll need to lift this rib cage. So just take your hands on the ribs right now, and from the backs of the fingers, and inhale into this, widening them and then lifting, and exhale. So see from the side. So we're going to widen and lift. Okay, again, maybe from the back, widen, inhale, and lift. Okay, so that's going to be a big component of this. So let's try doing that now. Okay, so here we are with our weights. So take the feet about as wide as the edge of the mat and feel yourself down, bend the knees, and then let's just really lift the ribs and bring the arms up, and then straighten the legs and lean forward. Lifting the ribs, the front of the chest, and then maybe drop your head back. Come up and release. Take some deep breaths. There's not a lot of space for deep breathing when you're doing back bends, so sometimes you have to compensate around the times of the kind of holdings. But we also want to create some sort of a climate where we can still breathe in the belly, even though we're bringing the pubic bone forward and up and there's tension. Okay, let's do this again. Arms up, bend the knees, wide side ribs lift, and take the hips a bit forward. And come up and down. Pause. Big breaths. And we'll do one more. Okay, the arms up. Bend the knees. Lift the ribs. Feel connected through the big toes and the big toe mounds. The ankles coming forward, the knees coming forward, the hips coming forward, and maybe the head goes back. And come up. Okay, good. Move the weights to the side. Come to the front of the mat. Stand with your hands on the belly and we'll breathe for a couple of breaths. Breathe in the belly, connect it with the third eye. One more breath. Okay. Let's bring the arms up. We'll do some sun salutations. And then we'll come into a little bit of a back bend here. Again, just feeling the weight shifting into the toes, the inner ankles, through the fronts of the thighs. Lift the ribs. And then inhale. And exhale. We'll come into a forward fold. Bend the knees so you can rest. Because those are intense things we've just done, we're just going to really feel a natural gravity fed traction through the spine. So just stay here a few breaths. Okay, let's straighten through the spine and come long through the back of the neck. And then take the hands to the sides by the feet and we're going to either step or hop back. Activate through the armpits and through the pubic bone. And the arms are just kind of in a relaxed but perfect alignment and jump back. Raised plank. Feel a slight hollowing out of the front of the body, the pubic bones coming forward through and up towards the sternum, pressing through the hands, widening across the upper back, plumping up the thoracic spine. Take the knees down and let's come into modified up dog. So pause, being back. Walk your hands one hand distance back towards you. Open the armpits, relax the elbows. Shift forward so you can then tuck the back toes. Come back. Balance the energies of the hands and the feet and start to push the mat away and come up. Stay here breathing in down dog. And then let's look towards the hands and step or hop. Take a long back, long spine, long neck. And then exhale into a slightly deeper forward fold, but you can bend the knees as deeply as you wish. As I'm still just warming up, I really like to have my knees bent and I rest my ribs right on my thighs. Or if this doesn't suit the shaping of your body, you can take your elbows onto your knees. Let the head hang like a nice heavy plumb line weight, creating traction through each vertebra of the spine. Okay, take the hips back. Maybe the arms are forward. Come up in your best way. Hands in towards heart. Inhale the arms. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Prepare the hands for your stepping or hopping back. Raised plank. Lower plank. Come down all the way, pushing to come up. And just come up into modified up dog. Or if you wish, you can come onto the tops of the feet and lift. Pushing the hands down, widening the back, and taking the front of the chest or the whole sort of rib cage forward, through and up. Knees down. Walk your hands one hand distance back. Shift forward, tuck the toes under. Slowly feel the sense that the arms are relaxed, the armpits are open and engaged wide through the side ribs. Drop the head. Breathe long. And then start to balance the hands and the feet muscles down to the ground. The exhale, down dog. Stay here and breathe, either in stillness or in movement. Inhale, look to the hands, step or hop. Long back and forward fold. Let's take the hands to the backs of the calves and lean the legs and hands together so that they have this meeting of energies and there's this resistance. Use that to plump up the lumbar and plump up the back of the sacrum. And release the hold and inhale, come up. Hands into heart. And again, inhale. Seeing if there's a bit of a back bend here, lifting the ribs. Feeling so much of this is happening at the ankles and at the legs. And inhale, coming up and forward fold. Halfway lift. Deeper bend. And we'll take ourselves back to raised plank. Lower plank. Come down and set yourself up for modified up dog or coming up into up dog with the knees lifted. Take the knees down. Walk the hands back one hand distance. Widen through the side ribs. Drop the head. Relax the elbows for a moment. Inhale. Exhale, hips to sky. Feeling a downness of the sitting bones like they're going down towards the heels. Using that to plump up the lumbar spine, widen through the back. Come down. We're going to come down and have the toes tucked under. So sit back and prepare by putting your hands in the mat in front of you and pushing the heels back as the toes are coming forward. And then we'll sit back on this. Also, what might happen is that you need to have a block on your heels if you need to elevate. So just, I'm suggesting that we're sitting like this in Vajrasana, but also you may alter that and not sit like this at all. Whatever's going on with your knees will dictate, or your feet for that matter. All right, so sitting like this, and let's come into alternate nostril breathing, having the right hand in Vishnu Mudra, arms at the ready here. Inhale first, exhale. Let's block the right nostril, inhale through the left. Block the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release the hands. And now we're going to come onto the tops of the toes, but the ankles are still lifted, so there's a hollow space right here. So the toes come down, and then you tug on them. So you tug the mat like you're trying to bring the mat forward. Sit like this. You could also roll a blanket and have that underneath here instead of having them elevated, but it's a shape director. The big toes are together, but the heels are apart slightly. Be at the ready. Inhale. Exhale. Block the right, inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release, come forward. Now we're going to come down flat onto our ankles, where the ankles are smushed down, the sides of the feet are together. And you may notice when we do alternate nostril breathing like this, it's a little bit more of a, we're still in a physical practice, so there's a different quality to it than when we're sitting in our meditation and then doing this. Okay, inhale through the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. And release. Now we're going to take the heels wider, so we're in Virasana instead of Vajrasana. But this is also that time where, oh, do I need to have several blocks because this doesn't work for your knees? So take the time to put those in there now. And we're going to be lengthening through the tops of the feet like our toes are trying to stay off the mat. And that's the kind of engagement we're creating to support the knees. All right, preparing. Let's block off right. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Release and just pause. A couple breaths of noticing. Okay, let's release, come forward, take the knees and feet out of this. So now this is when you're going to come into downward facing dog and hold it as long as I am while I have my legs up the wall, or you're going to take the legs up the wall. And sometimes we've done it where we have just one leg up the wall and the other one's down and it's gathering to the body. And so we've been doing that for quite a while now, and that really creates the strength in the back of the pelvis and in the lumbar spine, and make sure that we're not lordosic while we're in a hand balance, because we'll often collapse in that pose because it's strong. So in this one, we're going to take both the legs up, but there's a strong engagement of the pubic bone pulling up towards the sternum, or in this case we're inverted, so down, and also the inner thighs will be coming together. So you'll feel quite a bit of strength that's holding you, and you think like when we were doing that hollow body when we were lifting weights, kind of the hollow front body. You feel that, and that will help to keep you in alignment. So come down at any point, or come down and come back up, but otherwise you're just going to follow me if that suits. Okay, but I really recommend building up to these kinds of shapings. You know, like take years. There's no point in rushing this shaping. It doesn't bring instant enlightenment. Okay. Taking the hands at the ready, they're nice and easy. Drop the head. The elbows are heavy and bent. Toes are tucked under. You have this wide quality of the armpits and side ribs, so you're actively ready for movement. And then we have the pubic bone coming all the way forward through and up towards the chest. Gathered in. Inhale. Exhale. Push down through the hands. Take the hips up. Take one leg and then the other, and just pause here. And take one leg down, and then take the other leg down. Let's come back into the toe tucked under, alternate nostril breathing, Vajrasana. Sitting back, take a breath in first, and out. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Lean forward, come onto the tops of the toes or the tops of the feet, having the ankles lifted, sitting back on the heels if you can. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release, coming down with the ankles flat down, the sides of the feet smushed together. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release. Prepare what you might need for the feet to be wider. The heels are beside the hips, and we'll inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release and just pause. Okay, coming on out. Now we're going to roll around into a different shaping where we kick up to the wall for elbow balance. So you can decide if you wish to practice kicking up into elbow balance. This isn't a class where I'm really workshopping elbow balance, and we can do that another day. But you can come into Happy Puppy, which is where you're on your elbows with your palms face down, and you inhale and exhale into a downward facing dog like this, where you're working your sitting bones towards your heels, and you're working your armpits to be wide from each other and a bit forward and up, or therefore really towards the ground. So that is going to be the shaping that you're going to work on, or maybe kick up with me. So when we kick up, we're going to actually bend the knees. Now this is the other thing, is that we've often done this with one leg down, and we're not going to do that this time. So we'll have just the knees bent and the feet at the wall, and that same real suction in of the pubic bone coming in towards the belly so that you will not collapse at the low back. Okay, so you could decide if you want to just watch me do this and then go into sort of Happy Puppy, or just come up on your own and find your method. All right. So I just measure my elbows as one forearm distance, and I want to be a little bit close to the wall, but not too close. Okay, so just dropping the head, and I'm relaxed at the start, wide through the side ribs, open through the armpits. My hands are soft but in proper alignment, dropping the head to create space through the upper back. Inhale. Exhale, pushing down through the elbows, and then come up in your best way. And then just coming down. Good. Let's turn around so that we're facing forward again, and we'll do one more of the alternate nostril breathing in Vajrasana. So toes are tucked under, facing forward. Pause, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale through the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Tuck the toes, or untuck the toes and come onto the tops of the toes or the backs of the feet, lifting the ankles. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release. Take the ankles down, sides of the feet snug together. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release, take the feet wider, and let's just inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release and just pause. Okay, let's come forward. We'll come into Sphinx pose. So you're in the tops of the feet, and we'll just have the elbows below the shoulders and feel a bit wide and a little bit lifted. The pubic bone scooches down into the ground, and you feel the pubic bone down and then a bit forward and up to create length through the lumbar spine. So just pause here, breathing in Sphinx. And then come down. Just make a little pillow for your head, and just the head can turn over to the face the left. Inhale up, turn the face to the right. Inhale back into the center. So now we're going to take the arms and legs forward. So let's just have the feet a comfortable distance apart from each other, maybe hip or a bit wider. It's up to you. Arms are forward. So we're going to keep the head down. I'm going to have mine up a little bit sometimes for talking, but essentially you might want your forehead right to be down onto the ground, and we'll lift the right limb side. So let's inhale, smush the pubic bone down, lift the right arm and right leg, and down. Keep the pubic bone staying smushed down through this whole time. Lift the left, and down, and right, and down, and left, and down. One more right, and down, and left, and down. And then make a pillow again, turn your head to the left. Inhale up, turning the head in the other direction. Come back into the center. We're going to do opposite limbs this time, so it'll be the left hand and the right leg. Okay. Forehead's down to the ground. If that suits, smush the pubic bone down, lengthen and widen through the back of the pelvis. And there's a little bit of a suctioning in of the thighs, or the head of the femur bones. As you do this pubic bone down, suction in so that the legs are in alignment, and it creates more space for the back. Okay. Left with right leg, and down, and right arm, left leg, and down, left arm, right leg, and down, right arm, left leg, and down, left arm, right leg, and down, right arm, left leg, and down. Make pillows. Turn to the left. Inhale up, turn the other way. Inhale, coming up. Take the hands by the side ribs and push to come up And then we'll also come into downward facing dog. So just prepare yourself nicely. Toes are tucked under. Inhale, exhale. And then come into child's pose. And then inhale, come up, and then just take yourself back onto the belly. And this time we're going to move the arms forward, and then we're going to move them to the sides, and then we're going to move them to the sides of the torso. And we'll lift the legs at the same time. Okay, so arms coming forward first. Smush the pubic bone down, and we'll also include the head this time. Pubic bone down, suction the legs in so the heels face to the sky. Let's inhale, hands and feet, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, out to the sides. Have a little bend in the elbows, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, to the sides, palms facing through the thighs, and up, and down, and up, and down. One more, and up, and down. Okay, let's make pillows. Turn your head to the left. Inhale, coming up, turn the head the other way. Okay, inhale, face forward, hands at the ribs. And let's just come up and we'll take ourselves into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under. Widen through the side ribs, open the armpits. And then feel the hands and the feet pushing apart the mat and be here, feeling the sitting bones going down to the heels. Feel the downness of the toes, and the toes are in a bit of strong sense that they are in the mat and they're trying to slightly move out to the sides of the mat, but we're keeping the knees apart. And let's come back into child's pose. So if you can, you keep the knees together for these because they're a real counter pose. They round the back more convexly. Keep the hands forward or make a pillow for your forehead, or take the hands beside the torso like this. Inhale, coming up, and let's just walk ourselves a little farther forward. So we'll go back and we'll do different versions of bridge. So taking yourself down, and the first one, we're going to make sure we have room overhead for our hands, so we're not going to be hitting the wall behind us. Okay, good. So the feet are about hip distance apart, a comfortable distance of the heels to the sitting bones. Take the fingertips to the ceiling. Let's inhale and make a bit of a back bend so that the tail faces down towards the ground, the lumbar lifts. And then exhale, smoosh the lumbar all the way down and lengthen and lift. And to come up into a nice little wedge. Feel the slant board effect. The sitting bones are going in the direction of the backs of the knees. There's a little bit of ease in the lumbar spine. The knees slightly suction together. And then lift these side ribs a bit higher as if they're coming towards the chin. And then take the arms overhead with the palms facing up. Lift the heels, slowly unfurl. Coming down. Keeping the arms and shoulders back and down if that works. Snug the ribs in towards the belly. Feel this like a traction through the spine. And then release. Take the hands onto the abdomen for just a couple moments of pausing. Okay, so let's just do this one now. We're going to take the right arm and put it underneath with the palm face down. So shift your weight over to the left and just move that right palm down. So it's going to be under and a bit down past the buttocks or the sitting bones. Shift the weight onto that arm as you take the left arm with the palm face down. And that's going to come, again, a bit past. So you can see my fingertips are here past my sitting bones. Push the fingers like they're pushing up towards the thigh. Inhale and bend at the elbows and then lift this way. Feel the lift of the chest towards the chin. Feel the kind of added understanding of opening through the tops of the thighs with the fingertips at the backs of the thighs. Leaning in the elbows, leaning on the shoulders, leaning in the feet. And then release the arms and slowly come down until you're down. So let's do one more, and you can do either one of those that we just did, or you can do this one where you have the elbows bent and the palms are facing each other across the belly. Same position for the feet. And we'll come into a bit of a back bend and then smush the lumbar down, lengthen to lift, lean in the elbows, and then walk onto one shoulder head and then walk onto the other. Leaning down through the elbows, leaning down through the feet, lifting the chest, breathing. And then coming down, release the arms out to the side and come down and pause. Reach over and take your belt. Take the feet up and just hold the straps however you can, and let the legs be a little farther away so they're not straight up and down, they're on a bit of an angle, and let them bounce. So you bounce them with your belt or bounce them because this is an elastic, so they bounce in a nice way. Feeling it as a bit of a massage through the back of the pelvis. And really allowing the back of the pelvis and the lumbar to release any tension that may have happened in the back bend shapes. And then just find stillness on your slant. And then do some figure eights to the side, like a kind of a horizontal figure eight. So they go over to one side and they go up and down through the center. And then come back into the center and just let the legs come into where they can come just naturally. And you're using a kind of draping weight. So nothing that you're pulling the legs in, but you're just having a heavy sort of wet towel drape, that kind of weight. Breathe in the belly. Keep the right leg where it is and slowly lower the left leg down. And take it all the way to the ground. Just keep it hovering. Have a little bit of a micro bend at the knees, both of them, just so that you can have more communication that happens through the legs when the knees are slightly bent. Also, this will help to encourage the back of the pelvis to remain flat and wide. Now just take the belt in the right hand and take this right leg out to the side. Lift the leg, transfer to the other side, and we'll move this over to the left and take your right arm out. You can gaze over at your right hand. Keep your ribs snugged in. Lifting the leg, take both legs up. Have a moment of the horizontal or the kind of the slant forward, the 45 degrees, and bounce. I'm still. And then bring the legs in. Again, that draping wet towel, that kind of weight as the legs are in towards the chest, the ribs are snug down, the back of the neck is long. Keep the left leg here and remove the right leg and let that go down. Either hovering or the heel is down to the ground. If that's the case, if you take the heel all the way down, then anchor it down and really be strong with that leg. Breathing the belly. Take the belt in the left hand and take that leg out to the left. Transfer the belt to the other hand. Find yourself in the twist, turning your head to gaze at your outstretched left arm. Imagine that maybe the hips can stack above each other so that it's a flat plane at the back here. And even give a bit of a push of that leg into the belt. Inhale, coming up. Now, because I have an elastic strap, which is really lovely, it's from B-Yoga, I'm going to take my legs wide as the belt. And you can do this with your strap and just lean into the strap. But because this is elastic, it'll have a little bit of a give to the sides. So I'm just going to go wide in a little pulse, come in and pulse, and come in and pulse wide, come in, and one more. Okay, good. Move the belt to the side, tuck the knees in, and just find yourself massaging the back a little bit more, whether you're drawing some circles or doing smile twists. Feel sweet and easy in the mind and in the body. Feel a kindness. And check to see if everything is in that right sort of medicine place before you lay down in Shavasana. Maybe you need a bolster. Maybe you need a blanket. Let yourself feel kind to the self as you rest in your Shavasana. As long as you need in the Shavasana to rest and rejuvenate and feel the kindness of the mind and the body, connecting with the glue of the breath and of breathing. Namaste.